You already know by the title what's going down today. We're welding the diff on this bad boy. So I don't know if you remember on my previous video, the previous owner said that it has an LSD in it. I thought it might just have an issue locking up, but I looked under the car and I looked up a few stuff, and I actually think it's an open diff, just the normal open diffs that come in here. So we're just gonna go ahead and jack the sucker up, drop the diff, weld it, and then we're gonna be able to slide this sucker. I cannot wait. Like, we got the taillight situation figured out. We're legal. Only other thing we gotta do is weld the diff, and then we can go have some good old fun. Also got a bunch of my homies coming out just to hang out, you know, that's what it's about. I'm gonna wait for all of them to come before I actually start, but I will just go ahead and jack up the car now and just take a look under there and get all set before everybody comes. Hi friends.
I'm Eli.
You guys like my dog more than you like me.
Yes.
What you doing, Brendan?
Oh, you know, just setting up the freshie, you know.
Oh my
Gotta
god.
set up the freshie, you know. What the frick? Done.
But check this out. I have SPC tow arms, and I don't know what these are because there's no label on it, but these are adjustable uppers too. And it has upgraded suspension with adjustable dampening on the back. We're gonna drop this. As far as I know, it's these bolts, these bolts, these bolts, and then that bolt, these bolts right here, and then these two, and it'll drop. And then we take all of these off and weld that sucker in there. Alright, so I didn't film this, but there's 4 bolts right here. See? 4 bolts. Took those out. They're pretty easy. Now the only thing holding up the diff now is this bolt right here and this bolt right here. So there's 2 there. We're going to put a jack up here, let these out, and then hopefully this thing just falls out. Let's get it done. Hell yeah, I'm about to use my impact gun for the first time. Yo, can you hold it, like pull this?
Pull the exhaust?
Yeah, away. Okay. Is this the best shit ever or what? This is the best shit ever.
What'd you say? What did you say?
Oh, I'm in love with this. Alright, now this is gonna be like
Sketchy.
okay, lower it a little bit. You gotta go slow, slow, slow. That shit's out. Oh, we're getting close. This is it right here. No, not yet.
Lower it! Lower it! Lower it!
Slowly, slowly, bro.
Lower it.
Yep. Should just go all the way. But go slowly.
Oh, it's because it was hanging on the exhaust?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother! Delivery! One diff.
The diff is out. It's really dirty, but it's out. We're gonna crack this sucker open and weld it together. It wasn't bad, right?
Nah. No siree, Bob.
It really wasn't bad at all. All right, let's do it. All right, diff's off. We just pulled the drain plug, and actually the fluid's not. It's pretty dirty, but it's not like chunky or anything, and you could see through it a little bit. So we're just gonna go ahead and pull these off real quick. So we hit these with some WD-40. We're gonna wait for that to kick in, but all the bolts came off except for these 2, and they're really, really on there. And I broke my freaking impact gun.
What if we just hit it with this?
Oh god! All right, so my impact wrench is broken, but we ended up taking this. Brendan was very fortunate. Brendan had this like perfect hex. Yeah, because mine is like this. So the hex got on there. It was stripping before, so we got this. We have this that we put on there, and we had a bunch of leverage. They both hold it down, and we got it off. So now we got to
it's leaking.
Clean this up. Alright, we're just gonna hit this with a bunch of brake cleaner and clean every single bit out of this. It needs to be as clean as possible so that the metal can burn into the metal and stick. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit this up with the welds. So we're gonna weld here, 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 and here, and then turn it to the other side and do the same thing. Boom, 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 all four corners welded completely shut, and we should be good to go. Alright, so I've finished hitting this with the welder. I did this side and the other side, but I can't spin it around with one hand, so I can't show you. I will tell you right now, my welds are absolutely terrible. Like, horrible. It's so hard to get in this little space. I thought it would be a lot easier, but it's not. All those little dots I'll hit off with a flathead, and so that's what I have to do next. Just get off all those dots, hit it with a bunch of brake cleaner, and just clean this as much as I possibly can. That's the goal, as much as I possibly can. And then we'll seal it back up. We're good to go. I'm supposed to be working on my car right now, but this girl wants to cut strawberries and she's scared to be in my house alone. So, I'm supposed to be working on my car right now. You're cutting strawberries. What the fuck are you laughing at, bro? I'm gonna just move this to the side.
Look at me.
Bruh,
Wait,
what is going on?
Look, look.
Alright, we cleaned everything. I took off the old, like, what do you call that? The gasket. The old gasket was, like, stuck on this, so I had to grind it off. But we've got, like, a nice smooth surface now. We are gonna lay some silicone that I bought, gasket maker. And then we have Loctite for the nuts. So we're gonna torque them down to spec and fill it up with some oil, put this sucker back in the car finally. I don't know if that's even how I'm supposed to do it, but
Hey, it's a learning curve.
okay, it is now 4 a.m. I'm pretty tired. Brennan's leaving. But this is back together. We put this like silicone gasket maker thing on here and we hand tighten the bolts. Okay, so it's the next morning. Last night we had to stop because we had to let the silicone dry. It's supposed to sit for 24 hours. It's been like 7 maybe. So I'm just gonna say F it and torque down these bolts to spec and then fill it back up with fluid and we can throw it back in the car. Alright, I just went ahead and tightened down all these bolts. I broke one of them and that's because these bolts are just so old and like brittle. And I just stopped. I tightened them as much as I could, as I felt safe. But you're supposed to torque them down to like somewhere between 72 and 80 something. So I put the torque wrench to 72 and it just snapped that one clean off. So these are all on there though. I guess the next step is to fill it up with diff fluid and throw it back in the car. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say this right now. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like watching some videos and kind of playing it by ear. So if this is all wrong, it's okay, like, it's alright, just for fun. So, I know I'm probably doing all of this wrong, but in all honesty, I don't care. Like, I'm having fun with it. So let's fill this thing back up with diff fluid and we'll figure out if we can get this in the car by ourselves or if we have to wait for an extra hand. Alright, the diff is back in the car. We just have to put the axles on, put the drive shaft on, tighten up all the bolts, and we should be good to go. Okay, so the diff is in the car. It's bolted up, but there's only 2 bolts holding on the drive shaft to the diff, and there's only 2 bolts holding on each axle to the diff. But I can't spin it by hand anymore. It's like a little bit crusty in there. Like, probably didn't clean it enough, honestly. But what I'm gonna do is turn the car on, throw it in a first, and move it a little bit, and hopefully it breaks free and spins, or it'll just break, and this would all be for nothing. All right, let's see. See the other side. Yes, it works. There we go. Now whatever was stopping it broke free and I could spin it. So let's put the rest of the bolts in. It's all done. It was kind of a hassle, but not really. Like, it honestly was not that bad at all. I didn't have problems with anything except for torquing back down the cover onto the diff, and also that old gasket, peeling that thing off was just a pain in the butt. But after I pulled out the grinder, which I don't think I filmed, but after I pulled out the grinder, it pretty much cleared it, no problem. And on that note, I also know I didn't film that much. It's just really hard because as soon as you touch anything down there, your hands are black. Like, my arm is still completely black, and I just washed my hands and everything. So, like, this is my hands after I washed them. So it's like, it's insane. The stuff does not come off. So I couldn't touch my camera, I couldn't touch my phone or anything. But it's done now. We'll drive it around the block and see if it doesn't make any weird noises, hopefully. Alright, let's bust a U-turn and see if we can, I could feel the skips, I just don't think you could hear it. Oh yeah, we got skips, baby. So that's gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna end the video here. That's the first real mod I've done to the cars. Well, the diff, so I'm pretty excited. So leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Why they wanna be me? It's not what it seems.
Wait. You thought I was gonna make a welded diff video and not do at least like a donut or a burnout? You guys should know me a little better than that. Let's go, baby! Bro, this is too much fun, bro. Welded diff, let's go! Woo! One more.
Oh my god.
Woo! This shit rip, boys! Woo! It works good. It works really good. It was, that place is too risky to get out of the car and film like me doing donuts. Yeah, it's too risky, so he just stayed in the car and we sent it real quick to test it. Now we're gonna end the video off. This thing is so sick, so much fun. This is gonna get me in a lot of trouble.
Yes. Why they wanna be me? It's not what it seems. Running to the bank, putting wet on my Achilles. We been thumbing blue faces like they Washingtons. On a run from MIA up to Washington.